This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Road to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the full 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. On this episode, we are talking about the support system, and we are welcoming Coach Matt Corso, who is head coach for bowling for Team Illinois. Please put your virtual hands together as we welcome Matt finally on Special Chronicles.
Nice. I like all that cheering.
Yes. Usually I've got a different sound effect, but good to have you on the program. And we were talking in the pre-show that we're trying to think if you were on the program in the past, but possibly. I want to just before we dive into coaching for bowling for Team Illinois, I want to just kind of let our listeners in on how we first got connected, which was I've been, even before competing in Special Olympics, I've been involved with CSPO for many, I had a lot more hair back then, very and young. I think in the day camp back when I was that age but we first got connected. And I think in high school I did one of the activities that you led, where you picked us up, and then we did different activities. And so that's how we first got connected. So why don't you, maybe just tell our listeners briefly about what CSPO is, and then that's not the focus of the interview, but just to kind of let our listeners know just a little bit about your day job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is my day job. I'm the executive director of CSPAR, and CSPAR is an acronym for a really long name. I'm not gonna; it's too long. But we basically we are a special recreation association, and we offer recreation programs to residents of 13 communities with disabilities. And that includes, obviously it includes Special Olympic sports, but we also, matter of fact, today is our first day of day camp, summer day camp, which I think you did, Daniel, at some point in your life. Yeah. We do lots of other programs, social clubs. We work cooperatively with other service providers. We do regular weekly programs, special events, Cubs games, Sox games, stuff like that. We do big trips and camps and things like that. So we basically offer lots of different recreation programs. So any kind of a program that a park district would offer, we offer a similar type of program, but again, specifically tailored toward individuals with special needs. So we can cater to all the needs of our friends and be very inclusive. And our programs happen out in the community as well. So we are not any type of a kind of a workshop thing. We actually run our programs throughout all of our communities that we serve. So we are out and about. Our vans are out and about all the time, and we love what we do.
Awesome. So now let's switch gears to the focus of the interview today about USA Games. So tell us, because some people might be listening to the audio podcast, some might be watching on YouTube, or I just figured out how to upload video podcasts on Spotify. So I think with any luck, people can watch this on YouTube or Spotify. And tell us your name, what sport you're coaching at the USA Games, and where you're from.
Sure. My name again is Matt Corso. I'm the head coach for bowling for Team Illinois. We have 8 bowlers this year, and then there's also an assistant coach, Darlene Baker, who will be with me as well.
Awesome. And you've been coaching athletes preparing for the 2026 USA Games, as you just said. And to begin with, describe your coaching philosophy when it comes to supporting athletes beyond just the performance.
Sure. I would say I don't judge any athlete's success by medals or anything like that. We certainly work hard to improve their skills and their performance, but my goal is ultimately just to help the athletes grow in confidence, independence, and resilience. Sports is awesome because sports really provide opportunities to learn a lot of life skills like teamwork, communication, even like handling success, but also disappointment. And I just want every athlete to just feel valued, feel supported, and know that they're capable of anything that they put their minds to. And again, I'm not worried about their medals or anything like that. I just want them just to have a good time and to gain a lot of living skills to help them be successful outside of sports.
Awesome. I want to just touch one quick thing you said on developing confidence. Yesterday, I was looking on a script for a new Special Olympics International has a video series that they're going to be, I think, working on this year. And they asked us to, I'm going to pull up my notes here. They asked us to talk about one tough thing because of our intellectual disability and how Special Olympics has helped us with that. And the one, without giving any spoilers, the one tough thing that I shared, that I'm going to share, is about confidence and how kids made fun of me growing up in school, and then Special Olympics helped to kind of develop that confidence into the communicator that I am today. And so so I'm glad that you talked about that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I absolutely 100%.
Yeah. Awesome. So, moving on, preparing for a national competition is a very big deal, different than at the local level, at the local state level. What does that preparation for this national competition look like for you and your team as you prepare for the 2026 USA Games?
Sure. For our team specifically, we met 3 times. One of them was over a training weekend. So on that particular weekend, we actually got to practice 2 days. So really, we've practiced 4 times together, which doesn't sound like a lot of practice, but there is what the challenge is all of our bowlers come from throughout the entire state of Illinois. So from a convenience standpoint, it is kind of hard to kind of get us together on a weekly basis or whatever. But really, they all know how to bowl. That's one reason why they got picked. So for me, I worked really on fine tuning their skills. But I also talked a lot about what to expect throughout their experience there. Bowling, competing at the national level is really unique, and it's conditions that they're not going to be used to. They're going to have lots of strangers kind of around them. They're going to be in a different bowling alley. There's going to be a big audience and lots of noise and people taking pictures and stuff like that. So we talked a lot about that. They're also going to be bowling every day. So they're going to be bowling 5 days in a row, which they may not be used to doing. So I talked a lot about, and I've given them a lot of tools to help them be physically fit and just kind of get ready for that grind. So, again, I gave them like training routines, focusing on just eating well, lots of walking, basic workouts, and those. And I also gave them some specific ways that they can practice bowling as well, kind of tailored toward their style. So I did give them that as well too. So really my goal is just to ensure that they're going to be prepared, they're going to be supported, and that they'll be excited for that opportunity.
Awesome. As you know, every athlete has moments when we struggle. How do you recognize when someone needs extra support, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically? How do you recognize that struggle?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question, because this is very important, especially since we're going to be together like 24/7 for over a week. So one of the most important parts of coaching is just really getting to know each of the athletes individually, and every athlete communicates differently. So I need to pay attention to their any changes in behavior, body language, their energy levels, just how they're engaging and talking and stuff. So, if I see them get a little bit quieter than normal, maybe they're a little bit frustrated kind of more easily, they seem less confident. If I see those signs, I'm just going to check in. I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to work with them. Just to identify what support that they might need at that time. In a lot of cases, just listening and showing that you are there for them, showing that you care for them is going to be a big difference. And it's going to hopefully kind of, get them out of their funk, if, kind of a weird word, but hopefully that'll just be enough to kind of bring them back, and they can just move forward. But that is definitely something that, especially when you're with the athletes all day, every day for a number of days, that's something that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know, and I'm sure it's definitely different than I know from competing at the local state level, with our coaches for only 3 days.
Yeah.
And this you're with the athletes for a week and a half. So yeah, different whether it's the national or the international level. Yep. It's definitely a lot longer. Yeah. As you know, families is a big part of Special Olympics. Like I know for myself, my mom and my dad and my sisters and brother-in-laws and niece and nephew all support. And so families play such a huge role in an athlete's journey. What does the strong partnership look like between coaches and families look like to you?
Yeah, strong coach-family partnership. It looks like really it's built on communication. It's built on trust and sharing goals as well too. Both their goals for their child or family member, and our goals as well for them as well. So, their families know their athletes much better than we do, especially considering, again, I've never met any of these bowlers before. So it's my first time ever working with any of those 8. But their insight is very, very valuable. And that really helps us as coaches provide better support. And then after we're working with the athletes, again, coaches, based on communication, we just want to share their progress, share their successes, and tell them what we think they can do to help themselves as well too. So sometimes that outside perspective is also valuable. But it's so important for families and coaches to work together. Giving that consistent encouragement both from the coaches as well as from the family, just really gives them their best chance for success.
Awesome. I love that. And as we talked a little bit earlier about recognizing struggle, and along those same lines, as we talk about handling pressure, the pressure of a national stage can be really intense, as I think you talked about. How, as a coach, how are you helping your athletes manage that pressure and stay grounded? Sure.
Well, I've reminded them that they were selected for this opportunity for a reason, and it was because of their hard work and their dedication that they have already shown to the sport. They weren't just randomly chosen. They were chosen because they can handle everything that the games could throw at them. But we do focus on what we can control. And we just focus on supporting one another. They need to, try to ignore all the noise around them. And I just encourage athletes to enjoy the experience, as it can be potentially a once in a lifetime thing. So they may never be able to experience ever again. So to kind of just take it all in and try to have fun doing all the different things, even beyond just the sport, all the other things as well. And again, we'll celebrate their accomplishments, big and small, and just remind them why they were chosen again and why they love the sport. And I think doing all this just lessens that pressure. Sure. And honestly, at the end of the day, we just want them to have fun. So I'm just there just to kind of help them, foster them, just enjoying their time and creating lots of memories.
Awesome. Building upon what you said about helping your athletes have fun, that's something our chairman Tim Shriver wrote about in his book Fully Alive, and his son compared it to like going to Disney World, where the fun is just there for just that short time. Yep. But when you come to Special Olympics, it's the fun that lasts. And so building upon what you said and helping your athletes have fun and build memorable moments, share a moment with our listeners and viewers when you saw your support truly make a difference for an athlete.
Sure. I try to be, humble. And I recognize that really I'm just a tour guide for their life, so my goal is just to be there, support them, and help them enjoy their time. They do all the hard work, to be successful. But I do see some accomplishments that I think I help with somewhat. Some of them can just be with their skills, where I've had bowlers, when I've given them certain things to work on, that they have stated that working on those couple of things has helped them. For example, I have them practice just picking up spares. So one of the biggest things one of the best ways to improve your average is just getting more spares. You can get strikes all day long, and that's great. But just getting those like spares, even one or two more spares can make a 20 to 30 pin difference of your average, So I've had a couple of bowlers have told me through this process that they have seen an improvement just getting spares and different ways to pick up spares, and just like talking about it has been helpful. So I think I've seen some of that. And again, I just want to foster them just having fun. Enjoying the moment and just not being hard on themselves, just again, enjoy the moment, and forget about the last frame that you just threw. If it was a bad frame, if you didn't do what you wanted, just forget about it. Just work on, just move forward. And I think all of that, I think has made a difference.
Awesome. I love that. Before we get to the final question, finally, coaches need support too. So you talked about in the past 18 minutes about giving support for your athletes that you're coaching. Who's in your corner as you prepare for the 2026 Special Olympic USA Games?
That's a good question. I guess my number one supporter is my wife, Beth. She allows and encourages me to take the time to do this. She herself is a longtime coach. She's been a coach at World Games as well as lots of state competitions. So she totally knows, the whole grind of it as well. My daughter is also very supportive as well. She herself has volunteered at numerous Special Olympics events as well. So she, gets it as well. Besides that, just my work and staff here at C-SPAR have all been very supportive. Other coaches volunteers, families, and I think the Special Olympics staff, the Special Olympics Illinois staff, have also been very, very supportive as well, and it's just a big deal for them as well too. So, so again, I've got lots of different people that if I've got any questions, concerns, or just need someone just to talk to, I've got lots of different people, and ultimately, the athletes themselves, I think, is a source of inspiration and motivation. So again, just seeing them enjoying their time is a big support for me as well. And I think if I see them doing a good job, then I guess I think I'm doing all right.
Awesome. So we got one final question, because we of course we want to listeners to hear your story, but even more than that, we want just like at C-SPAL, inclusion and inclusion revolution is a big part of Special Olympics. So we want to leave our listeners with a call to action to bring inclusion into the communities, into the towns, into the workplaces, schools. And so this final question will help our listeners to do just that. And so we've got to let's go ahead and roll the bumper to introduce the final question.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising.
Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
equality.
Dignity.
And the recognition of our
shared humanity.
we will not stop or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
more divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution
is inclusion.
Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
So just like I've been doing ever since I came back from the 2019 World Games, been asking this final question because it helps our listeners to bring inclusion, and in fact, next month I will be compiling all the on this USA Games series. Your answer, as well as when I'm on location in Minnesota, I'm going to ask you people this same question, and then edit all the responses to this question into one episode of what inclusion means. So that's going to be a really cool, little different episode than people are used to, coming up next month. So you all can stay subscribed and follow, so you not miss that. But I'll ask you, Matt, what does inclusion mean to you?
It means so much. Really, inclusion means just creating environments where everyone feels welcomed, valued, respected, and everyone is given the opportunity to fully participate. So it's not just simply being like there and being present. It's belonging, and every athlete deserves a sense of belonging and being a part of a team, regardless of their ability level. Just to kind of further that, inclusion means recognizing and celebrating individual strengths and focusing on what athletes can do, not what they cannot do. It's a focus on what they can do. Every person really should have a chance to contribute, to connect, and to succeed. And inclusion, at the end of the day, really just creates stronger teams, stronger communities, and again, just experiences where everybody has an equal chance to thrive. Awesome.
That's a perfect way to wrap up this episode. Is there anything that I may have missed about coaching and USA Games that you want to share?
No, I can't think of much more. I mean, we're about a week and a half away from leaving, give or take. So we're just kind of getting geared up and ready to go. This upcoming weekend is Summer State Games. Yep. So we almost have back to back. Some of the athletes will be at Summer State Games as well. So you're going to go away for Summer State Games and coaches, and then come back for a few days, and then leave for Minnesota. But we're all just excited and ready to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. And it's I lost my train of thought, but it doesn't doesn't even matter. It's just thank you so much, Matt, for taking the time to come on the program, and we'll have to talk about off-air of a 2 or 3 podcast series around the C-Spell's 50th anniversary, because that's some exciting news happening this year. So thank you again, and for those, thank you all for listening to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, a Special Chronicles podcast series. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. You can follow the athletes and find out a lot more if you download the 2026 USA Games app on iPhone or Android. And as well as you can catch every episode of the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. And I remembered, Matt, what I was going to say, and that is this episode is actually going to drop the week that we are in Minnesota. So our listeners can stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who believes in the power of support. And again, specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. Scan the QR code above or click the link in the description below. So you can listen, watch, subscribe, follow, and do all that. And join us next time as we continue to highlight the incredible athletes and communities preparing for the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. I'm your host, Daniel Smrokowski. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. And remember, choose to include.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.